Welcome once again to Commander by Danon. Today's video was brought to us by Patreon supporter Mark. Huge thanks to Mark and the rest of my Patreon supporters. Mark reached out asking for a mono-green Stompy deck led by Gwenna, Eyes of Gaea. He wanted the biggest, smashiest creatures and wanted some fun ways to cheat them into play. But before we get started, I'd like to quickly ask you to like and subscribe. It really does help the channel and it's free. With that out of the way, let's get into the video. Gwenna, Eyes of Gaea is a 3-mana, 2/3 legendary elf druid scout. We may tap Gwenna to add 2 mana in any combination of colors, but we can only spend that mana to cast creature spells or to activate creature abilities. Additionally, whenever we cast a creature spell with power 5 or greater, we put a +1/+1 counter on Gwenna, Eyes of Gaea and untap it. So Gwenna wants big monsters, or at least creatures with power 5 or greater. We want to fit as many of them in the deck as possible. Now, Mark told me he doesn't really care about the budget for the deck, he just wanted to avoid any reserve list cards. Mark also mentioned how he wanted some fight mechanics in the deck, so I was sure to include some of those. In fact, now would be a good time to review our handy-dandy checklist. 50 mana sources, usually split between 37 lands and 13 pieces of ramp, 10 pieces of card advantage, 8 to 10 pieces of spot removal, 2 to 3 board wipes, 2 pieces of graveyard hate, and 1 sudden I win card. As I'm sure you've heard by now, this channel is sponsored by Ultimate Guard. One of my favorite products Ultimate Guard has is their Xenoskin Omnihive. Years ago, when my family and I would go play Standard together, we would bring all of our decks inside of Xenoskin Omnihives. We could fit everyone's decks, spare tokens and dice, and everyone's playmats into 2 of these massive boxes. Well, the new ones are here, and instead of 5 60-card decks or 4 commander decks, these can fit 8 commander decks or 10 60-card decks. This thing is massive, and I can't wait to finish filling it up with my decks. Find out if your local game store carries Ultimate Guard products, or click the link down below to order yourself one from Amazon. One more thing before we get started. I've been streaming Final Fantasy XIV over on my other channel every weekday in the afternoons. If you want to pop in and ask some questions, chat about Commander, or just hang out, you're more than welcome to. Nykthos Shrine to Nyx, War Room, Mosswort Bridge, Bonder's Enclave, Scavenger Grounds, and 30 forests make up our land base for this deck. Ronus' Monument, Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Goreclaw, Terror of Kalsisma, Defiler of Vigor, The Great Henge, Runati Behemoth Collar, Wayward Swordtooth, Rampant Growth, Nature's Lore, 3 Visits, Cultivate, Kodama's Reach, and Skyshroud Claim make up our ramp package. Battle Mammoth, Soul of the Harvest, Garruk's Pack Leader, Beast Whisperer, Garruk's Uprising, Elemental Bond, Elder Gargaroth, Return of the Wild Speaker, Tribute to the World Tree, Guardian Project, Colossal Majesty, Finale of Devastation, and Turn Timber Symbiosis allow us to dig through our deck and find answers. Beast Within, Terastodon, Silverback Elder, Ulvenwald Tracker, Voracious Hydra, Return to Nature, Titania's Command, Scavenging Ooze, Naturalize, Prize Fight, Bushwhack, Primal Might, and Heroic Intervention make up our interaction and spot removal package. Izuri's Predation, and Apex Altasar. I know that the big dumb fighty dino isn't exactly a board wipe, but he can take out a whole ton of creatures. And if we have a Heroic Intervention on hand, he becomes a one-sided board wipe. Steelleaf Champion, Ronus the Indomitable, God Eternal Ronus, Galta, Primal Hunger, Surak the Hunt Caller, Thunderfoot Baloth, Mir Superion, Kogla the Titan Ape, Endray's Forerunners, Surak and Goreclaw, Gigantosaurus, Aggressive Mammoth, Zopandrel Hunger Dominus, Impervious Great Worm, the Tarrasque, Tyrannix Rex, Apex Devastator, Gargos Vicious Watcher, Vorinclex, and Craterhoof Behemoth make up the core of our deck. But we've also got Archetype of Endurance to help protect us from spot removal, and Unnatural Growth to help close out games. Now that we have our deck list, let's compare it to our checklist. 51 mana sources split between 35 lands, 15 pieces of ramp counting our commander, and 1 MDFC. 13 pieces of card advantage, 13 pieces of interaction, 2 board wipes, 4 pieces of graveyard hate in Scavenger Grounds, Return to Nature, Scavenging Ooze, and Titania's Command, 1 Sudden I Win card in Craterhoof Behemoth. But that's not the only way this deck wins. We could give all of our creatures trample with Garruk's Uprising and just run them over. We could double our fight spells with Gargos Vicious Watcher and clear a path for Impervious Great Worm to smash face. But most likely we create a giant wall of monsters and then double their power with either Unnatural Growth or Zopandrel Hunger Dominus and crush them all before your might. Do you have a Gwenna Eyes of Gaea deck? What about a big green Stompy deck? Leave a comment below. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, a huge shout out to my editor Cutestuff. I couldn't make these videos without her. If you'd like to hire her to edit your own videos, she can be reached at cutestuff.edits@gmail.com. Link is down below. If you're looking for ways to support the channel directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/Danon. One of the tiers is specifically set up for Commander. For only $25, I will build you a custom Commander deck based around your specifications, and even do a deck video on it. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons: Waffles, Jiraiya, Danny, Muffins, Marcus, Squishy, Brett, Roxy, Josh, Sean, Pob Zombie, Mark, Alex, Daniel, Steve, Kevin, Alex, Cookie, Nick, Borgie, Jake, and Exiled Rogue. You guys are awesome. I post new Commander deck videos often, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of new videos. Also, if you're a fan of anime and manga like I am, feel free to check out my other channel, Musings by Danon. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again next time on Commander by Danon.